What is up, everybody? Happy Friday and welcome into the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
I am having my signature Tito's vodka, orange juice, and cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, I need you to tell me what you're drinking and our three things for the show today.
I'm drinking my red wine as usual, my J. Lore 7 Oaks. Well, Jacob Fatu has debuted in the WWE. The Judgment Day are the new tag team champions with a little assist from our friend Liv Morgan. And we have ourselves a little Uncle Howdy speaking out. It's Friday, June 28th, 2024. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Welcome back, everybody. Again, happy Friday. We missed you. We hope you missed us as well. We have a lot to talk about. Another week has gone by. A lot has happened. So let's get right to it. We kick it off with Uncle Howdy speaking on Raw. If you missed it, let's catch you up. Creepy as always, but Uncle Howdy is here and he's got his targets and he wants to talk. Nikki, let's kick it off.
Well, first, I really love this, but I just want to backtrack 2 seconds. Nick, that was the first image Nick showed, is our dear friend Chad Gable, who we thought got murdered dead last week.
Chad Gable. Do you want to say?
No, you were doing it great, babe.
Chad Gable is unkillable, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God! They killed. Sheesh.
He cannot be killed.
Oh, so he got cleared for the Money in the Bank qualifier match with Braun and Bronson. Jesus, get some new names. So he cuts this promo coming out to the ring. He does have bandages on his head where we thought he got shot in the head. And he's like, do you believe in miracles? The rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. He's like, true, I was left bloody and bludgeoned. Wink, wink. And he's like, now I have to face a bunch of new monsters. But he's like, Chad Gable cannot be killed. Chad Gable lives. And he's going to be master in the bank. And then he gets into the ring, and the Tron starts getting all glitchy. And then he's like looking around, looking over his shoulder. Then they have the match. I think it was a fun match. A lot of stuff got, like, the Judgment Day came out and took out Braun. That's how he was able to take out Bronson. And that's how he won. He's celebrating in the ring. And then, of course, lights go down. You hear the piano note, which I don't know if I meant to ask you this earlier, but then we got off topic. It was usually the one piano note, but I felt like there was something layered over it, especially when, like, Nikki was handing the package, but it sounded like there was something over it. If someone in the comments down below knows what I'm talking about, it sounded like something rustling or rattling or like a banging.
No, I didn't really.
And I go back and rewatch it. There's something over the piano note.
That might just be in your head. You might be slowly losing your mind.
Well, we all know that. But I digress. So then the lights go out, then the fog machine starts, so the ring starts filling up.
Wait, can I pause you right there? Because we were talking about the fog and the smoke. So I have this theory. Does the smoke knock out everybody? Because, like, well, as you get to, like, in the back, everyone was all
the two security guards that were on each side of Michael Cole were knocked out. So I don't know if Nikki Abby, whatever you want to call her, got them before she crawled into the ring, or someone else is running around. Because again, then wouldn't Michael Cole be knocked out?
Yeah, like that. That's what's so weird to me.
I don't think it's the smoke. I think she or they did something.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Bobby. Welcome in, Bobby. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's this, like, there's some weird, like, dynamic with the actual smoke. Like, I don't know. It reminds me of, like...
the whole arena would be knocked out. Chad Gable...
Not the arena. Well...
Chad Gable was laying in it and rolled out the ring. But anywho, so Nikki, Abby, whatever we're calling her, crawls into the ring, and she's, like, crawling towards Gable. Gable, like, goes into the corner and then, like, gets out the ring. And then she turns and starts crawling over to the commentary booth, like, towards Michael Cole. And she slithers out of the ring, and she picks up this box. And then she plops the box right in front of Cole, and then walks kind of, like, behind, like, where Samantha sits, and then goes into the crowd. And the music's still playing, and she's just goes straight, and it looks like she just disappears into nothing.
Which, if you actually, like, look back, and it's just, like, a Wyatt staple, right? Like, the box is, like, the little, I mean, it's a cardboard box.
The box-like structure?
The box-like structure, yes. Michael Cole should have called it this box-like structure.
I know.
She's left this box-like structure on my desk here. But no, I feel like it's the same, like the shred. Well, was it shredded? I don't know if I could tell. Maybe we could look.
The box.
Yeah, like when she handles it.
No, it looks like the Amazon box with black duct tape on it.
Yeah, but it was the whole, like, Firefly Funhouse idea of behind, like, you know, remember, like, was it Mercy
Mercy was in a box.
Or Ramblin' Rabbit was, I think, at one point in time too. So they all just kind of pop out of the, and it's just again, it's a cardboard box, but I'm maybe making a bigger deal out of it. But it's just another Wyatt thing.
Yeah. So that cuts to commercial. They come back from commercial. Michael Cole says it's a box that was addressed to Pat McAfee, and I don't know if you read the sheets, and he kind of said in the beginning, like, oh, you know, Pat's not here tonight, but don't read too much into it. Unfortunately, Pat McAfee's father-in-law passed away, so that's why he wasn't on Raw. Like, it wasn't. We kind of talked last week that, like, stuff was happening on his show, but then he came out that it wasn't the Wyatts and blah blah blah. And then something came up, like they did something again and said, like, you lied. But again, him being not on Raw this week had nothing to do with the Wyatts. But anyway, he pulls out the VHS and he's like, for you kids at home, we haven't seen these in 25 years. And it's like, Michael Cole, like,
which is so
making me feel old. It's
so perfect for this whole storyline because of the fact that, like, when you look back on it, like, kayfabe, like, they're supposed to be, right, all the promos where they're stuck in the cave and they can't get out of the cave. Like, we've been like alone, like all the handwritten notes from Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, whatever, like all that stuff has been like an old school way of communicating and all that. So the VHS, I just love this angle and the fact that they incorporated this in the whole scheme.
The little sticky on it that says "Play Me." So Michael Cole's like, we have to get this to the production truck, and then he just, like, at his screen hands it off to somebody, and then just, like, goes back to the next thing. And I was like, okay. A couple commercials later, they finally. Michael Cole announces that they can watch the VHS.
They track down, I don't know if this happened to you in your, like, high school or whatever, but they track down the old, like, TVs on the rollers that the substitute teachers use. That's what they found in the back. We
all cheered when that rolled into the classroom. So I'm assuming that's what they had to do. So the VHS starts. Of course, you see the blue little screen and the Crow Pluto logo there's there, and then the piano music, and then you see Uncle Howdy, and he's talking to somebody, and he goes, "Are you happy? How have you been since the loss? Do you feel like you've been forgotten? Do you remember who you are?" Very, very psychiatric.
Yes, this word's gonna get harder as we drink more.
Psychiatristic.
Is that a word?
No,
Psychiatrist-like. Psychiatrist-like. That's the word I want to use.
Yes,
that's what I'm going with.
It mirrors kind of like the same questions that the woman psychiatrist was asking whoever. And then then it pans and it's Bo, Taylor Rotunda, whatever we're calling him. I don't think we called him anything in this, but he goes, "I am nobody." And it cuts back to Howdy and says, "There you are. How did it feel when your brother died?" And they were like, I was like, oh, we're getting into some shit right now. And he said, the most important thing in my life was taken away from me. Nothing was going to matter again. And then the video glitches and says matter again. And this got me. Howdy goes, "Do you think you're exploiting your brother's legacy?" And I was like, Oh boy, because that's a huge criticism that people are thinking that they're exploiting this. And I loved Bo's response so much. So give me 30 seconds. I will read this out loud. Nick, don't yell at me. Because I think this is very important. And I think, I don't know. Oh, God. Wrestling.
She was just...
All I ever wanted in my life is to be like my brother. I looked up to him and wanted to be him. I worked my entire career, my life, to work next to him. And we're going to rule together. We were there. We had it. And it was taken away from me. There's no one on this earth that feels more hurt than me from his loss. No one on earth feels what I feel. Did I want him to become a mausoleum and have them forget what he stood for, what he fought for, what he believed in? They wanted to forget me. They wanted to forget us. But we made them remember. Uncle Howdy goes, yes, we did. Pans out. It's the beautiful shot of Howdy and Bo staring at each other. I think chef's kiss. I loved his response. Like, you're not going to, like, his goal is to fight and continue his work and what he fought for and what he stood for and, like, all the kind of backstage stuff that he fought with Vince or he couldn't do his vision. Like, I feel like he wants to carry that. And I personally feel like it's not exploiting. I think it's paying an homage.
Yeah, again, we're big Wyatt family fans here, Bray Wyatt fans. I want to see him continue this legacy go on. What I like about this is that we're seeing an acknowledgement to some sort. I think we could draw the conclusion and dot the I's, right? That for the first time we're acknowledging on screen Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda, whatever we're calling him, as Uncle Howdy. I think, or the split person. This is exactly what Bray, used to do, was doing the split personality stuff, and that's exactly what needs to be shown. Is this is how he became who he is. I would love to see more of this from the other characters, introducing the other characters, but him explaining his vision and why is something that I really loved about this.
I think we needed a why. And this felt like a good why. We're not just doing it to do it. Like, I feel like, especially if you watch the documentary, like, Bo and Taylor are so passionate about this and really wants to do this. And I feel like he wouldn't do it if it didn't feel right or if it was exploiting.
Ed thinks the box was actually Mercy's box. Could have been. That would have been great.
Wasn't his box bigger, though?
I'm not really sure. But it looks very similar. I mean, you can't really tell. I mean, cinematography, you can't really tell. Yeah. But my question here is, I'm going to make this personalized to everybody, and I'm going to ask it with him on the screen. But how did you feel when Bray Wyatt died? It's going to hit pretty hard. Because for me personally, I know Nikki was upstairs, and I think we both got the news at the same time, like the alerts, and just a really, really, like, just heart-dropping moment of, like, just, like, loss and just feeling, like, despair and, like, garbage, like, what for me when that happened. Because he was my favorite wrestler for the last 15-plus years. I mean, the two people that I think I like the most are Bray Wyatt and Shawn Michaels. So, Shawn, don't get any ideas. But, yeah, just the despair and everything else. So, I kind of throw this out there to our audience and everybody else. Like, how did you feel? Like, what was your emotions? Like, what take you through that day? Like that's kind of what this interview reminded me of. And I think some of the other wrestling fans that I've talked to, around the world, like similar thoughts. Just like it reminds you of that moment of when you heard. What do you think?
I was upstairs and I literally yelled down to you. And I took it really hard. I like, same with Brody. Like, I cried for like a good solid hour. And then cried again like the next day. Because it's just like, there's so much potential that we did not see. That he should have had a bigger run, should have done more. Vince screwed him so hard. And then just also his age. Like, Nick and I are a year apart. He was Nick's age. And it's just like heartbreaking. It's like someone that kind of watching him growing with him, being our age is just like was scary. And then him with him and JoJo having the two little ones, like he has the two older daughters, but just like the babies and following her on Instagram through all that, it's just like so young, taken so quickly. Unfortunately, like it hurt a lot. And I'm really hoping that this that this can be an homage and help further what he really wanted to do.
Yeah. Bobby's chiming in. He said he was very sad. Yeah, but it was a sad day. It was a sad day for us all us wrestling fans.
All right, we gotta pick his.
I know. We gotta get it back going. But again, it was just
our next topic. We'll do that.
All right, we'll move along to our mid-card topic of this evening, and I know it's definitely gonna pick up the spirits of some. It might pick up more than just your spirits. just to give you a little tip, but the Judgment Day are the new World Tag Team Champions. I had to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
On Raw, with a little assist from our fellow New Jersey native, Liv Morgan. Let's take you back to how it happened. So, we have new tag team champions, but not without some nefarious activities. But the Judgment Day, we've talked about them running Raw. The Judgment Day are back on top. Nikki, your thoughts?
I like it. I'm going to backtrack, as I usually do. This, again, jam-packed Raw. A lot of Judgment Day, a lot of Liv Morgan. So I'm going to quickly go over big segments. Basically, they start off after Drew's promo that Punk's promo. Drew's promo. Doesn't matter. The Judgment Day has this upgraded clubhouse. They're in a locker room. They have a PS5. They're playing 2K, WWE 2K, whatever. And they have chicken nuggets, which if you read the sheets, apparently that's the only thing that Dominic eats. Priest walks in and he's like, "Oh, Carlito, is this you?" And then Dom was like, "Oh, you're not going to like this, but it is Liv Morgan." And then also that he gets a text message that's clearly he got a dirty photo of Liv. And Carlito, of course, was like, "Oh, that's cool." JD's like, "Oh." And then Finn kind of looks at it, shakes his head, and like looks away. And then Priest is like, "Oh, she's loca." And he's like, "How are you going to explain this to mommy? How did Liv get your number?" And he's like, Dom's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they talk about, you guys need to like stop playing games, take out Braun. End of scene. Then next, Liv Morgan calls out Dirty Dom. She goes to the ring and she's like, "I'm trying to get your attention. I hope you really like my gifts. I know you like the picture more. I'm sure, Rhea never got you anything. She doesn't care about you like I care about you." And then she says, "Daddy Dom, can you please come out?" And then he doesn't come out, but Zelina Vega,
who's an unsung hero in this whole feud. I will say that she's come leaps and bounds in this last 2-3 weeks, where Zelina Vega looks like gold, like a legitimate contender. And sadly, she's just going to kind of be a transitional person. But
I know, I feel like, because again, we had this podcast back then, her match in Puerto Rico with Rhea was she was so over and so happy to be there. And I think they're finally giving her something to sink her teeth into. I think her coming on Raw during the draft, whatever, months ago, really helped her. I personally really love Zelina Vega. So I'm excited for her to get this opportunity. So her music comes out and she's like, "Why are you obsessed with Rhea's sloppy seconds? And while you're chasing that dirty D, I'm chasing the world women's champion." And then she's like, Liv says she hasn't forgotten about the title. It's the most important thing to her. And she's like, "You scheme for opportunities. I've starved for them. I think you should put the title on the line tonight in Indy." And she's like, Liv was like, "Oh, I'm in the middle of something. Maybe next week. Okay, bye." And she goes, "Oh, Dominic." And then Dom music hits, all the boos.
Which is crazy because he never gets out any words.
I know.
And she gets to the point where she's like, "Let Daddy Dom speak," which I loved.
But he was like, "Yeah, I got your gifts, but I didn't like them." And then that's when Liv says that let him speak, because of course he thinks like anything out. And he's like, "I'd rather see anyone with the title than Liv." And then Liv kind of turns around and attacks her.
Bobby says Dom the dummy. Agreed.
I did like at one point, Zelina said, like, Dom was trying to talk. She's like, oh, if I wanted you to speak, I'd put a diamond in your bowl.
Yeah.
In
in your
bacon bowl. It was
bacon
like,
bowl, yeah.
Get it. So basically then Liv attacks her. They're rolling around on the mat. Dom's just standing there. Ray comes out to pull Liv off Zelina and protect Zelina because they're in the LWO together. And then Ray stands up and then Dom pushes him. And then Rhea's like, oh my god, like has this big old
Not Rhea. Liv.
Sorry.
Liv.
Sorry.
Get it right, Liv.
Oh, no.
Liv's the one stealing the man. Gosh.
Slip. Do I really want Rhea and Dom together?
Hold on.
Oh god.
Gotta give you.
Oh god.
But yeah, so he saves the damsel in distress, in theory.
So they're backstage, and Dom was like, almost did it again, Jesus. Liv runs after Dom, and he's like, leave me alone. And she's like, thank you for saving me. You're my hero. Save me from your deadbeat dad. And she like hugs him and says, thank you. And he walks away. And then chef's kiss. Enter R-Truth for shenanigans, of course. And of course, because he thinks Dominic is two people called Tom and Nick. And he's like, he looks like a reluctant hero, but those are the best kinds. He always had a soft spot for Tom and Nick, and he feels that like love is in the air. And he's like, oh, we should do something special for Nick and Tom for being heroes. And then she's like, oh, I think I can go talk to Pierce and get a match with Dom and Ray, but I need you to get a tag team match for his friends. He's like, they should face the best tag team in the world. And he's like, well, I'm half the best tag team in the world. And he's like, yes, you are. And she's like, make sure you go off to Pierce. And she's all cutesy flirty.
So she manipulates her way in to getting them a tag team title match, which to me is her learning the age-old lesson that some of us have learned from the Spice Girls back in the 90s about how to really get a woman or man.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
Simple enough. We're keeping it real. Hey, listen, I did a drop of a 25-plus-year-old song. Thank you. I'm here every Friday at 6 p.m.
So then it's confirmed Pierce approves the match. That's mean. At one point, Priest, another segment of Judgment Day, Priest is walking back to their clubhouse locker room, and then Liv pops out, and she's like, hi, Damien. Bye, Damien. And he's like, Dom, you better enter this. And he opens the door, and who is there but Finn Balor? And then he's basically like, what's going on? He's like, he's like, don't accuse me. You need to relax. She wasn't here to tell us that she got the match for Dom vs. Ray, and she got them the title shot. And he's like, I know it's not ideal, but a title shot's a title shot. I'm going to take that shot. And he was like, I think Liv is starting to be too good to be true. And then Priest kind of gives him a face. And then he's like, I'm going to go handle my business. It's like, good luck in the title match. And I know we're briefly skimming through this. We're not talking about myself this week, even though I love to talk about myself. But it is the stipulation for Money in the Bank. If Seth wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. So that's some more sprinkle of Judgment Day.
Turmoil.
Yes.
So, again, match, I might take us through. The match happens, a pretty solid, normal, what you'd expect, I would think, of this group of individuals, like veterans, even McDonough as a younger-ish
Who's
guy.
younger than Finn?
Yeah.
Finn's in his 40s.
Yeah, like a newer guy, whatever you want to call it, was still solid in this match. I thought The Miz looked phenomenal in this one. First off, I didn't realize, maybe he's been doing it a while, but the springboard moves, like crossbody and stuff like that, I didn't know Miz was doing it that much. And like, just when you think about where he's come from in his whole career, like leaps and bounds in terms of, a phenomenal in-ring ability, and just he made this match, like, even as a face, like, there were so many times with him, like, that I just don't see him as, like, a good face, and, like, he played it off really well. His comebacks and everything else were great.
He got a lot of more offense than I really expected. And then, like, JD sells, he's like a Dolph Ziggler, sells like crazy. Like, when Miz hit the DDTs, was it the DDT neckbreaker, whatever that double move was on Finn and JD, and, like, JD definitely, like, spiked himself. And then after the the 10 knuckle shuffle doom thing, whatever, and then, like, JD, like, did a back roll out of the ring, and I was like,
he sells really well.
He sells like crazy.
Yeah, he's very good with that component, and, like, it's his first, major main roster title win for him. So it'd be interesting. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the ceiling is for JD McDonough, but again, he sells well. Yeah, probably. But again, it's a solid match, back and forth. A lot of nefarious activity, right? With the Judgment Day, we have Carlito at ringside. We have Dominic, who's always at ringside, right? They're always around. So later in the match, Miz hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. R-Truth hits
the 10-knuckle shuffle. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, sorry. No, I meant the skull crushing finale. Sorry. He hits the skull crushing.
Where's my boob button?
He hits the skull crushing finale. Carlito's there to make the save.
Mm-hmm.
So, which eventually brings Braun Strowman down to the ring, and also knocks Dom off the apron, which brings us to our fun. Do I still have it? I have it somewhere.
Okay.
No, I don't have it. Sorry. I thought I had the...
Miz did when you go through the ropes and you do the kick, and he went flying, and Liv ran over and caressed him.
Yes. It was in our little wannabe video. But so it kind of begs the question now.
Do you want to talk about the end?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I got ahead.
Oh,
so 5-knuckle shuffle. Sorry.
This is why I do the recaps. I might be a little winded, but I say what's happening.
Exactly. So, this is why we're here. We balance each other out, right? So hits the 10-knuckle shuffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Liv jumps up on the apron and causes the distraction. I was trying to figure out what she was saying. She's like, "You're doing it."
She said, "We did it. Like, they got the match for
them.
Like, she's like thanking him that we did it." And she goes to hug him, and then she sees when Finn's in the ring, and that's when her flip switches, and she hits his neck, chest on the ropes
with the guillotine.
That's where I was looking for. And then Finn comes on the missile into the corner, drop kick. He hits the coup de grace, and new.
And we have our new.
But it makes me think, because she was looking at Finn. When she saw Finn back in the ring, she did it. And they have the belts. They go back up the ramp. They're standing on top. And then Liv comes out. And JD, Judgment Day, has all the gold.
Exactly. So, I have 2 questions with this. So, first off, we kind of said it. Well, you've kind of hinted at this. Is Liv Morgan really after Dominic Mysterio? Do you believe that she really has eyes off of everything for Rhea Ripley? Or is there some nefarious activity at play, like Nikki is suggesting?
I think she's with Finn. I think she's just playing Dom to bother Rhea, because I think she wants to take over the Judgment Day.
So you think it could be a negative ending for Dominic, and that I have a drop for everything. We've got a drop for this.
Drop it like it's
that
happened.
Liv Morgan is going to be. That's what Nikki's thinking. Well, not to put words in your mouth, but you're thinking.
Well, I had it because you didn't let me go through my notes. I have a quote from Michael Cole, but drops the hints. He's like, she's trying to manipulate her way into the group, whether it's with Dirty Dom or perhaps Finn. We don't know what JD McDonough thinks. Priest isn't happy. We haven't heard from Rhea in forever, and Carlito just thinks everything is cool. So when he said, like, perhaps Finn, we don't know what McDonough's thinking, and I was like, I feel like there's too many little things for her to not to be working with Finn in the background.
Yes. Oh, and we're getting questions in the chat. That as much as the song is exactly, Steven. Exactly. Thank you. Yes, Bobby, we're doing call-ins usually at 6:30. So we got one more topic to get through, and then we'll be open up the phone lines to hear from everybody. Let's see. So yeah, that was one of my thoughts. And the other question is, does Liv become the new leader of the Judgment Day? Is this a new group that could be formed? And does Dom go with? I don't think. I guess if that happens, like, would Dom go with that group? Because he's such a.
They're hoping Rhea is going to be back around SummerSlam, even though she might not be cleared to wrestle, to insert her. I think they said they're keeping storylines and kind of plot open so she can kind of plug her in when she's ready. But I don't know. I want to be surprised.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see how this all plays out, because there's a lot of different directions you can go. Like, is Liv going to be with Finn? Is she actually just going to go after Dom and just try and take Dom? Is she trying to just bring down the whole Judgment Day just because? Yeah, there's a lot of different layers to it.
All of it.
Yeah, could very well be. I mean, who knows? Well, let us know. What do you want to see? Do you want to see Liv Morgan with Dom Mysterio? Do you want to see her with Finn Balor and do this whole switch and turn? Let us know.
Thruple with her and Finn and JD.
Yeah, thruple. Is it a word? Thruple? Is that a word? I don't know. We're going to call it a word for now.
Oh, God. Comment below and educate Nick, please.
Thruple. It's a good one. Well, I digress. So let's bring it into our main event topic. If you clicked on the thumbnail and came in, this was our main topic for the show. Jacob Fatu has debuted in the WWE and is seemingly part of the Bloodline 2.0. So last Friday, crazy main event, crazy show. I mean, last week was such a great week in general. This whole last couple weeks of wrestling has been great. But in case you missed it or forgot about it, let's catch you up on Jacob Fatu's debut. Jacob Fatu is here. And it was a long path to get him here. Oh, yeah. Before we do that, if you're new here, as people are chiming in, hit the old Samoan spike on the like button there. It goes a long way. If you're new, feel free to hit the subscribe. Got a lot of new subscribers the last couple of weeks, so we appreciate the support. So, Nikki, we open SmackDown in CM Punk's hometown.
Yeah, and Solo doesn't like that. So, briefly, Punk comes out. He's cutting a promo on Drew. Heyman comes out, and basically Punk's like, you're the only person that could interrupt my promo. And he's like, are you okay? You're not looking too good. And Heyman, I think they're putting makeup on him or something, because he's looking like...
You think so?
Yeah, because I rewatched it before the show, and like when they do the zoom in, the close-ups, he's looking like Paul Bear. Not as bad as Paul Bear, but it's like pasty. So he's like, no disrespect. I didn't mean to like interrupt you, but like I need to do a favor. Like basically they were listening to the radio. They said, obviously Chicago, CM Punk owned Chicago or whatever it was. And Solo doesn't like that because he's the head of the table and every city. And Paul Heyman could not. I wish he had like him trying to stutter the face that he makes to say that Solo was the head of the table.
Well, he also comes in. The first thing he does is hug Punk, and it gets the crowd with like a huge ovation.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I'm quickly going through my notes." And he's like, "Thank you, I needed that." But he's like the head of the table, and he's like, Solo wants to own every town. He's like, if you don't leave, they will come out, and they're rogue Samoans and Tongans. Please get out of here. And then F you Solo chants start going, and then say his name and he'll appear. And then Solo comes out and basically is like, "Ayo, Punk, like if you're gonna be on my show, you got two options: you acknowledge me, or we're gonna make sure you never wrestle again."
Which also, I'm starting this new hashtag hostage Heyman.
Yeah, like get that man an Emmy. Like I love Paul Heyman so much. Like his facial expressions and like more when we get, it's just like chef's kiss. Love Paul Heyman. Again, that's why he's a Hall of Famer. So basically he's like, two options: acknowledge me or I'm gonna beat you up. So then Punk puts his hand in the air. He's like, Solo, I acknowledge. And then I lost my notes. I acknowledge that I don't see the bloodline. I see fake ass Usos and a cosplaying tribal chief. Heyman falls to the ground at this point. And falls to the ring and then he kind of rolls out. So then, of course, like Nick shows, they get on the apron and they crawl into the ring. And like Punk's ready to fight them. But Cody comes out, has two bats, like they're sting on steroids. And they were like, "We'll beat you up." And then they slowly back out.
Which, like, where the hell did he come from? But he came out of nowhere.
So basically, then Cody goes to Solo. He's like, "So you're the head of the table. I've already beaten the head of the table. Leave your family backstage. I'll keep Cody and KO and Randy backstage." And he's like, "Let's settle this tonight." And that sets up.
So we're gonna pause, and I'm backtrack on some of my thoughts on this. So a couple of good moments on this. So when he comes out, and he's like, they're gonna come out, and they're gonna beat you up if you don't leave, because Solo wants every town as head of the table to be his town, right? And just he's like, I have two requests, and like, what's the other? The first request is like that you leave. He's like, the second request is take me with you. Yeah. And like Heyman's like, again, hostage Heyman. The tone of Paul Heyman is just so perfect.
It's just like him, just like looking like on the verge of crying the whole time.
Yeah, like it's just he's great, and like he might be one of the biggest baby faces now. Like Otis was, and now with Otis's like.
Can you imagine Roman Reigns coming back? Baby face Roman Reigns, baby face Heyman.
It'd be interesting. Well, it'd be like Lesnar with babyface with Heyman for a little bit.
We're not talking about him here.
But anyway. We digress. So I'll go ahead.
Well, I'm saying, do you want to cut to his promo in the middle or his promo before he walked out? I don't know how much you want me to skip.
Who are we talking about?
Solo. Unless you want to ever talk about something else.
Oh, well, before he comes out, we'll talk about that. But just how Cody essentially sets up a match, what's supposed to be a singles match for later in the evening. He says, listen, you leave the bloodlines, the Tongans, whatever they're calling them. I guess are they calling them the Tongans?
Yes, he said, you leave your family backstage. I'll keep Randy and KO backstage, and we're going to have the match. And that's what sets up the main event. I already said that.
Okay. Sorry. I'm reading through a bunch. So with that match set up, now let's bring us to a pre-main event.
So do you want the promo in between, or do you want the promo before? We'll just do the promo.
We'll do promo. Go ahead.
All right. So Solo's in Gorilla. Heyman comes. They had a little skirmish the thing before. He's like, I told the Tongans they took care of business, which means like Randy and KO didn't win their qualifying match for Money in the Bank. He's like, but you're breaking commands. Punk's supposed to be like hands off, and that's personal to me. Cody is something you're just supposed to handle and keep in check until the tribal chief Roman Reigns comes back. And then Solo's like, let me stop you there. He's like, I hate to tell you because I love you. Again, let's just the gaslighting. But Roman isn't coming back. I'm sorry. And he does that Italian hand on the he touches his face like that. And then he walks out and Heyman is beside himself. Again, I wrote my notes, give that man an Emmy.
Yeah, his whole stone face entrance, He looks like he's the Undertaker, or like a Paul. You know, actually, Paul Heyman's probably a good example of like that entrance that he had was so like he's just
just like kind of like just shocked because he was just like, and then like I love how Corey on commentary is like, what does Solo know that Heyman doesn't? But Heyman said he hasn't talked to him. Solo says he has. So,
well, so that kind of begs the question that I asked: is Solo out for himself now? With that,
there's always a higher power.
It'll be interesting to see. Like, even, well, as we'll get to it, but some of the decisions that have been made seemingly, and especially with the promos that have been cut from Solo, seems like he's acting on his own with his own rogue bloodline, which was something that we talked about a couple weeks back. Like, what was the situation with the bloodline? Like, are they going to report into The Rock, or is it, is there, because we thought there.
It blows my theory out the water because I thought Jacob was going to be on the other side, but whoops.
I couldn't. Nah. See, knowing who he is, he seems to work better as a heel. But let's get to the main event, or the short main event.
So basically, Cody kind of throws him around like into the barricade and the ringside steps, and then they eventually get into the ring. And of course, then God comes out pretty quickly. Like, I want to say within probably less than 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was like 2.
Yeah, it's kind of like throw, and then of course God comes out. Again, it's Tama and Tonga. They're Guerrillas of Destiny in New Japan. It's God. It's easier to type in my notes. But then of course Randy comes out to save, and KO comes out and he's like dragging his leg because it was a beat up before. But basically they save Cody. They hit all their moves, and then Solo kind of slinks back into the corner, and he's like, "No, wait!" But like begging, like, "Please, like, no, like, don't!" And then all of a sudden, he like looks up and has this like grin. I wish you zoomed in on his face. There's this grin, and he starts laughing, and then super kick.
So you never, before the debut, you never. I think who was it? Cole. He's like. Oh, no, sorry. Barrett, because Barrett's the SmackDown. Barrett's like, I've never seen Solo scared before, or like beg. And there was a reason. Jacob Fatu, who is lean as hell. He's so much leaner than I remember him. Like, I remember him as a thick dude, like almost like 300 pounds-ish. And he looks like he's like, just super skinny. I don't know. Like I know he's going to be the enforcer of this bloodline, I guess, in this iteration of the bloodline, but he's super duper skinny. I don't know.
Yeah, so he throws out super kicks to Cody, super kick to KO, super kick to Randy. KO tries to super kick him. He like laughs it off basically, then hits basically the Samoan drop on KO on the steps. Then he goes, running around and does a gnarly spear to Randy Orton through the barricade.
Which didn't break, which worried me that Randy Orton's all effed up.
You heard him like grunt, like,
yeah, no, I was like,
oh. He said something. He was not a happy pickle.
I know, and knowing how I'm just keep thinking it was Kennedy who like did like a backdrop on him, and then like that got him
ruined
fired.
his life.
And I was like, no.
At least Randy's a little
Why
better.
couldn't it just break?
Randy's a little, or like when you yell like stupid. So I think this Randy can take it a little better. But then he goes back into the ring. Cody tries to like punch him off and does.
He puts up a good, like, honestly, what should have happened. He puts
some punches, and then he clotheslined him out of the ring, and then Jacob swept his legs and pulled him out. And of course, then clears off the announce table, puts him on Cody on the announce table, goes up and does a beautiful leapfrog, and he landed and then bounced off Cody and landed again. And then I don't want to miss this line from Corey Graves. So then he goes back and everyone's chanting holy poop. Jacob goes back to the ring. hugs Solo, and then Corey Groves goes, "God help us all, there's a werewolf on the loose," and that's what they call him, the Samoan. They're calling him the Samoan werewolf. So I love that from Cody, because like he was just like screaming and making all these like how Tama wasn't like making all these weird little things. So Cody's like, "God help us all." Then Solo and Jacob put up the ones, and then you see JUD in the background, kind of like, what's going on here? And then Tama, being the right-hand man, then put it up. And then Tonga slowly put his up. So it feels like Solo's going a little rogue, to use Heyman's word. Like, is he just bringing in all these crazy... It's like, maybe that's the difference, though, because, like, Jacob is Samoan and the other two are Tongan. Like, I don't know if this is, like, a weird thing, but you see, like, they didn't put the ones up at first, and then Tama did it.
They looked at each other like confused.
Yeah, like confused. And then Tama kind of put it up quicker than Tonga.
Yeah.
Oh, he did, before he put him on the announce table, he did a Uranagi on the apron. So he's...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's hitting all the Samoan moves.
Yeah, because Cody was building his comeback, and then he gets out of the ring, pulls him out.
Again.
Well, we're trying to recap it. We're trying to keep it condensed so that we can get to everything, get to all our comments, get to your thoughts. We want to hear from everybody as people are chiming in.
I'm putting my notes down so I can now read the chat.
And again, if you're new here, please hit the old Samoan spike on the like. Goes a long way to helping us out. I said that weird. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting...
Yeah, I don't know if you look in the chat, Logan. I could not agree with your statement anymore. Again, we talked about that last Saturday. That he took out Cody, KO, Randy.
Yeah, well, so thank you, Logan, for that comment, because that actually bleeds into what I was going to ask. Is this the most destructive debut for any singles wrestler? I'm going to say single person, not like a group, not Nexus or the NWO. For any single wrestler in WWE history. So a couple of names, and feel free to throw out your own debuts and let us know in the comments below who would have a more impactful debut. But he drove Kevin Owens on the steps, right? There's 3 top stars in the ring, former world champions, current world champions in the ring. Basically no sells any of it. Takes him out, all 3, one on the steps, one through a barricade with a spear, and one through the announce table. If that's not one of the top 2 or 3 debuts in terms of impactfulness and destructive ability, I don't know what else is. The other name I can think about is, in terms of like sheer ability and that changed things up, was, I know, name redacted, Brock Lesnar beating up, was it the Hardys were in that? He just took out, Spike Dudley in that whole hardcore match where you beat everyone up. Or maybe Kane is the other name that had the most. Yeah. So I want to throw that out. Is this the most destructive debut in WWE history?
Ed agrees with me, saying it's Kane, which I agree. And then Logan said Brock. Again, I'm not a Brock fan, so also I can't like Kane either. I can't like any of these people anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the storyline with Kane, him ripping the thing off, brother, blah blah blah. I think, I don't know, kind of maybe holds. Yes, Ed, that's exactly. And I feel like with Brock Lesnar, I can't really separate the person and the character.
Bobby agrees. Yes, it is. We got one. Ken is great.
But again, it's I can separate Kane and Glenn Jacobs. I can't separate Brock Lesnar and shitty Brock Lesnar. But I don't know. When you said debuts, I originally said Nexus, and you're like one person, and then I thought
because
so I don't,
because like a group like the Wyatt Six are gonna be like a debut that people remember, like the Wyatts, the original Wyatt family, like group wise, yes, but individuals, I'm like.
I don't know. What if we did this topic? Was it? Oh, we did AEW last time.
Yeah,
because I talked about my Brody Lee. But I don't know. I can't think individual. I don't know. We didn't rehearse this topic.
We don't rehearse here. Period. Really, we just wing it as we go, and we just have fun with everybody.
Our lives.
Exactly. So let us know. I mean, I want to hear from all of you on this.
I just want to quickly add. Unfortunately, We did lose Sika Anawahi, which is Roman Reigns' actual father, who was one half of the Wild Samoans, WWE Hall of Famer. He passed away at the age of 79. Tonight, they're supposed to do a 10-bell salute. So I don't know. They announced it, so I don't know if it's kayfabe or it's going to be like what they actually proper do with the 10-bell salute, or they're going to be a mix. I don't think Roman Reigns will show up. I think it'd be crazy if he does. Is like Solo going to try to take over or do something to be like disrespectful, and then Roman Reigns will come back and like fight him? I don't know.
Planting the seed on, like it doesn't feel great, but I feel like, again, someone in the industry would appreciate them keeping the storyline rolling within their name, you know? So I think if that's a way, sadly, like that, to bring like Roman back, integrate him back into the storyline, it could be really, really fun. Not fun, but like it could be really good. Like, because like, oh, he's not coming back. Well, he wasn't coming back last Friday. Yeah. And it's a terrible circumstance. You don't like, but now like life changes, and maybe this is like, I wasn't going. Maybe he can even use this as a promo. Like, I wasn't going to come back, but my father, dying, right? Like my father dying. Yeah, like my father dying changed my whole outlook. Just like we just talked about it, and we opened the show with it with Taylor Rotunda. Like his brother passed away, he wants to carry on his legacy. Yeah, maybe that's the theme of the summer, is the legacy, and that's honestly the theme. I feel like a lot. I
think because I saw a video online. Like, they were telling stories about Sika and the Wild Samoans, and like they were in the car with Hulk Hogan, and at the point the Samoans weren't talking, so they kept kayfabe. When they got pulled over, Hulk Hogan had a gun in his glove compartment, and they didn't say a word of why it was in there, and they all got arrested and went to jail. And Gorilla Monsoon had to get them out of jail because they wouldn't break kayfabe and talk. So if they do, like, if something happens, I hope it's respectful. Rest in power, Sika. But if it is a little kayfabe, I feel like that's just how that family and that dynasty is. So I can kind of see it going either way.
It'd be interesting.
Rest in power.
Logan's got a good theory. He says he thinks Jimmy may return tonight. That actually wouldn't, it would. That's actually a pretty spot on point, because if you won't want to bring back Roman yet and save that, that's a good way of bringing.
Yeah, because it's obviously his uncle.
Ed goes Jimmy Hart. I can't with you, Ed.
I love you.
Ed, I'm just going to.
That's too quick.
I know, but, we'll get it over. I'm going to push that thing like 1990s Kevin Nash and get that over no matter what. If it takes 4 or 5 or 6 different gimmicks, we're going to do it.
Oh, we have to watch part 4 of Who Killed WCW.
Yeah, we'll catch up. We just need a binge day.
We do.
Good binge day. Well, if we're getting the
Steven said Little Jimmy.
Yes, Little Jimmy shows up.
I mean, you don't know. He's probably already here.
Oh gosh.
He's probably regular happy hour.
I don't know.
Looking up some Shirley Temples.
Oh gosh. All right. Oh man, that's when it's time to open up. I think it's
pour some wine. Yeah. Let's open that call, baby.
We're gonna open up the phone lines again. If you're new here, as I'm pouring here, feel free.
Bobby's ready for you, babe.
Everyone's ready for the phones. We want to hear from all of you. So, in 3, 2. All right.
Huh?
I can't wait. The phone lines, ladies and gentlemen, are open. So if you want to chime in and let us know what you're drinking and what you're thinking about professional wrestling, the world of wrestling, professional wrestling, we want to hear from all of you. So we got a couple of our regulars on the line. Odds or evens?
Oh, I hate when you make me do this. I don't know.
You just have to pick one. Odds or evens?
Odds, because we're all a little odd here.
That means, ladies and gentlemen, he's going by John Dom's Chicken Tenders. Ladies and gentlemen, Steven.
Steven!
Steve. What's going on, Steve? What are you drinking and what are you thinking?
What am I think? I can't believe that I have to get on here this week and be a food critic.
Listen.
Those are never dry, Steven. Never dry.
I mean, come on. I mean, Purdue, they have the Netflix money now. Can't they send somebody to go stop at like Raising Cane's or KFC or something? I mean, Purdue Dino Nuggets. Come on.
There's probably Dom's favorite.
That's not even chicken. I barely believe it's a bird. I mean, and then second of all, at least if you have to sing so low as to eat the Purdue chicken Dino Nugs, at least use them as a vehicle for the dipping sauces. Hey, the guy was eating them dry.
Never dry.
Oh my God. And then another thing, you have to cook those in the oven. They're backstage in an arena. Where did they make these?
You get food at shows.
Just the amount of bacteria. And then finally he had like a satellite dish full of these things.
Yeah. Well, because when you think about it, chicken nuggets are only like part. It's not a full chicken. So to get a full breast and
Yeah, full breast.
Raise your standards. Satellite dish full of dry ass, shit ass.
Liv Morgan tweeted that they're never dry.
Mystery bird nuggets.
Steve, you have a fan base now. Steven. Lisa.
Thank you. I'm copywriting that phrase, by the way, and I'll send out merch.
You're copywriting your own name, Steven? So, Steve, what are you thinking? What are you drinking? Besides chicken nuggets aren't really a food, apparently.
I don't know. I spent the whole week working on the chicken nuggets routine, so let me think.
And finding good thumbnails.
I thought I had a winner. I also thought it would be funny if, with that videotape, I thought they could go a couple of different ways, but maybe they were trying to be like super serious with it. But I thought it would be funny if they took it around backstage and nobody knew what it was.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe she's so old. You know how many wrestling tapes I had?
Like only Pierce, because he's old, knows what it is. Like, what's a videotape?
Well, like Cole knows. Cole's like, but I can't leave the desk, so we got to find that old substitute teacher backstage who knows where the VCR is.
Sort of side note to Cole, who did 2 hours of commentary by himself.
and then they find something to play it on finally, and then they figure out, oh, we have to rewind it first.
They actually had to go to the last Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It actually would have been great product placement for like the Netflix.
For the one Blockbuster that's a lot.
No, for like the one Netflix documentary. It's like.
And then they get to the beginning of the tape, and the first part of it is either like Chris Lino's best reruns or begins with the Coliseum video.
No, it's got to be America's Funniest Home Videos, because or like one of the tapes for America's Funniest Home Videos.
You gotta go old school USA, and it'd be like La Femme Nikita or like Wings, like early Raw.
Not order. What was it? What was the show? Oh,
at least
Murder She Wrote. Murder She Wrote. Is that what it was?
No, it was Wings or La Femme Nikita. Thank you, Ed.
I'm pretty sure Murder She Wrote was one of them.
No, it was La Femme Nikita and Wings. It was that blonde girl. She was like an assassin or whatever, like before Dark Angel.
There was someone that was writing, and it was Murder She Wrote. I'm telling you, Murder She Wrote was one of them. I'm absolutely gonna.
I don't think you're not. No, you're gonna watch Raw, and then you're gonna watch the hot blonde chick. You're not gonna go from Raw to Angela Lansbury. I know what Murder She Wrote is, but I don't see it coming after Raw at 11 o'clock at night.
Hey, Angela Lansbury in the right lighting could be something special.
Steve, I love you.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, if you close your eyes, right, Steve?
Like, it is a show. It's a show, but it wasn't coming on after Raw in the 90s. It was the blonde lady.
Yeah, I remember LaFell.
This is a great moment where, like, if I had polls on this show, do you know what a VHS, or did you use a VHS at any point in time? That would be a great.
You're still threatening to do that poll of who hates who the most.
I know it's coming. It's gonna be another integration of the show.
There's 3 of us now. There's 3 entries now.
Steven.
Yes.
No.
So Steve, what else you got?
After the ratings came out this week, can we officially say that AEW's MVP is Sheldon Cooper?
Steven, probably, but no. I want to support good wrestling. And
I want to support good wrestling too, but Tony,
sorry,
Tony was plugging something this week on some show, and the Chiron at the bottom said that they've had 550 million people attending 110 events, AEW events this year. I'm like, I don't think they've had 110 events, number one, because they only do TV. And number one, that works out to, I think, 5 million per 5 million per audience.
Is it Steiner math?
147% and a half.
So then you're not excited about Forbidden Door this weekend?
Yeah. I'll see if I'm done with my chores. Yeah.
It'll be a forbidden watch for Steven.
Yeah.
Or forbidden buy.
It's not, if it's not on Peacock,
Exactly.
I know. We need to get on a stream.
I know. Soon. Well, I think what is it, HBO Max or Max, whatever they're calling it.
They should be on Max, but they're not.
Yeah, they're still working. They're still working on the TV deal, and the ratings are just like down and down, and they're not making their case.
Yeah.
I mean, here's hoping.
I know. Well, listen, we just need competition breeds better wrestling. So
rises all ships.
Yeah.
He needs to get it down to back where they were and where WWE's now. He needs a smaller card. I can't sit. I am old. I cannot sit from 7 o'clock to midnight to watch all these matches.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours and 45 minutes is like the perfect time for a pay-per-view. It doesn't need to be a marathon anymore. And half those matches don't need to be like, I don't think it should be legit a Forbidden Door. It shouldn't be like AEW storylines per se. Like, you can, I guess, sprinkle them, but like,
no, it'd just be match for match.
Something like I like the Bryan match because that goes to the Owen. I can't. What is it? Japanese names are escaping my brain.
Oh, Naito. I know Naito's doing.
Is he fighting Mox?
Or is he Jericho?
Or is he Dakar? I don't know.
There's a lot. We didn't plan on doing the preview.
Mean nothing to anybody.
But it'll be interesting. I think it should be. There's going to be some good matches. We're going to get through the comments as you're laughing over here. I know Nikki's breaking character. Kayfabe here.
Story of my life.
I'm seeing all these comments, the numbers, because I'm not looking.
Well,
engagement has been created.
Exactly. Well, Steve, before we let you go, last shot. Yeah,
I got a question. What do you guys think about? Apparently, I guess this is going to be a strategy going forward about one city bogarting all the major PLEs.
I think honestly, what's it? Buy in bulk? Isn't that like a philosophy? So
not a bad idea. It's the Costco of wrestling cards. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that. I mean, generally speaking, you know what the other thing is too. They go back to the same cities a lot. Anyhow, like it felt like we never would have gotten WrestleMania. And we got like WrestleMania 29, and it's like Philly. It's like there's a lot of like clusters.
But the last one in New York was like the last bad. Well, I guess maybe COVID, but like that one was bad. That was so long. People got stuck. The main event sucked. Fucking Ronda Rousey.
But they're going back to the similar. Like it's always a few specific destinations. Like it's like because there's what's it. 6-ish like major cities that everyone knows about, right? Like New York City, Miami in the Southeast. You have Chicago, maybe Dallas, and LA. Like those are the 5 I think of right off the top of my head. Now,
Indiana.
Yeah, Indianapolis. Listen, the Combine's there.
That's supposed to be. I've never been, but that's supposed to be a very nice stadium.
Yeah, no, from everything I've seen.
I drove by it once. visiting my aunt, but like it looks like a beautiful stadium. I think if they can make it look different for each event, like I'm not necessarily mad at it. And since it is the bigger pay-per-views, you are going to have that kind of like ravenous fans, the international fans, that I feel like will make it feel different than if they were just going to like a house show in 45 minutes outside Indy.
Plus, McAfee can sleep in his own bed.
Who?
Plus, McAfee can sleep in his own bed and just commute from home.
Well, that's why they did the announcement on his show.
Interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I want to see. Hey, listen, if it guarantees 3 pay-per-views at MetLife over the next X amount of years, I'm down for it. I wouldn't mind going to SummerSlam and at MetLife Stadium here in Jersey. It's New Jersey for all of you that don't know that are out of the state. It's New Jersey where the Jets and Giants play. They really be the New Jersey Jets, but I digress. Hey, don't. We'll get to that later. But that being said, Steve, a pleasure as always.
Gentlemen,
you, sir,
ladies,
are cut off.
Bye, Steve.
So, interesting. A lot. Yeah, PLEs. Let's get to a couple comments, and then we'll take another call here.
Well, that's because I was laughing.
I got to catch up on all this stuff.
You have to go back.
Yeah, see, Murder, She Wrote is a show.
I said it was a show, but it didn't come on after Raw, babe.
I'm telling you, Murder, She Wrote, not after Raw, before Raw.
I was talking after Raw.
I was talking before. Wait. Were we arguing about a completely different topic?
Yes,
I was talking about Raw. So for the record, I was talking before Raw.
Okay, moving on. Thanks.
Logan thinks Forbidden Door is kind of disappointing this year. Are we desensitized by it because like we've seen it so much now? Like the first couple of ones, like if you do it every year.
Yeah, but also I think it's the thing, like they do such shitty builds, but then the pay-per-view, like the matches are good, but there's like, again, I think Ed and I have this conversation. Like, there's one thing is like I do love watching like really good wrestling, really technical wrestling, but then you also want that storyline, and like sometimes I don't want storyline. Sometimes I just want to see an exhibition. But I feel like their TV lacks so much story.
Well, that's the idea.
And when you look at WWE, that's all story. That's all killing it. It's firing on all cylinders right now.
Someone just came out and said that like
stories matter. Bischoff.
Well, no. It was something along the lines of like WWE is more worried about putting a great story into effect.
Mm-hmm.
And AEW is looking more at putting a great 5-star match on, which doesn't necessarily, again, and you're seeing it sell and move the tickets that, the storylines do. Like, look at, like, grown leaps and bounds. We talked about Liv Morgan, but, like, she's putting butts in seats. And that's what Jim Ross always talks about in his things. It's like, it's always about putting a butt every, 18 inches, something like that. That's what he says.
Like, we talk so much about and then it's like, their story is so good. There's so much intrigue. They're flowing through the whole show. Same as Bloodline on SmackDown. It's just like, it is kind of must-see right now. And as much as I adore MJF, I love MJF, but it's just like, he can't carry that whole thing. And I want Swerve to be good. He can't carry that show. I think it's too soon to have him and Ospreay. Yeah,
probably.
And then it's like whoever wins, then there's so much on the Owen because that's the Wembley match. Is your wild card Hangman, and then you're going to rerun Hangman.
I don't know. There's a lot of rushing
that
goes on with.
There's no, and like the longest story they did was freaking with the devil, and it ended up stupid.
Look at another comment here. Logan said, I love when MJF said he'd probably wrestle some random guy from Mexico or Japan. That's exactly what he's doing. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not good with accents or names. I think Hiroshito.
Horatio Sands. Isn't that the guy from Saturday Night Live?
Yes. Wrong guy.
He's good. I liked him.
No.
But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be, we're going to watch it, and we're going to see.
I'm going to watch it and cry about it.
If there's any shocks that happen.
I don't know. Again, I want it to be good. I want it, I want to root for these people, but they're making it freaking hard.
Exactly. So, we'll see. Ready to take another call?
Yes, ma'am.
How about a new caller?
Noobs.
All right. Every week, you just never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling
You
Happy
never
Hour.
know who's going to show up at Happy Hour.
Now, this gentleman is new to our show, not new to me. I'd like to say he's a friend of mine in the podcasting community. And in probably more importantly, as you dismissed it earlier, in the New York Jet world.
Oh, yeah, boo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Bobby Midnight.
Hi,
Bobby!
guys. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Nick T.
Hello.
Your husband and wife, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So I think Nikki looks like Mike's situation's wife. Do you think so?
I've never seen it. Now I gotta hold on, Bobby.
You have
I
to look
think
her
that's
up.
what's married.
You do look like her.
Is that good or bad?
Very good. No, she's very
Okay.
pretty.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
she's a
You know-
pretty girl. They have 3 kids now together. They have
What's-
the third.
What's-
Family Vacation, it's called, New Jersey Shore Vacation.
Are you a big fan of that show, Bobby?
Yeah, like my Snicky. So, Nikki, who you like in football? You don't like the Jets?
I don't like the Jets.
What team
I
do you
usually
like?
root for my fantasy football team. Whoever is my quarterback, who's my wide, who's my receiver.
Yeah,
like,
but who's your normal team you like?
so I was, cover your ears, a Patriots fan for a very long time.
Yeah. Oh.
Exactly.
Literally, that's Nick's basically lying to me was like, "You're too beautiful to be a Patriots fan."
Right. I agree with that.
But I just like that run. Like, I really loved Randy Moss and I really loved Russ Welker, and those were like my
Yeah.
guys. So once they kind of like retired and fell off, I kind of was like, I'm just gonna root for my fantasy football team.
So apparently, you
But
look like her.
Do,
I don't know if I can
Yeah,
think
her
of-
name. What's her name?
Lauren Sorrentino.
Yeah, that's who she reminds me of.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll take it.
I thought you were gonna say the New York Giants. That's right.
No, I'm from. Oh my god, my family is very huge Giants fans, and it was those 2 Super Bowls were very hard. I fought and yelled at
Yeah.
a lot of people, and a lot of
Oh,
families.
poor Patriots. We beat you, but not really. Only by 3 points. So it's not like we really.
No, I don't draft New York teams. I don't do the
Yeah.
Jets. I don't do the Giants. I don't do Dallas. I don't do.
Oh, I hate.
Miami.
I don't like I hate the Eagles. I hope you don't draft any Eagles.
I mean, like Jalen Hurts is pretty good though.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
I know.
He
Bobby,
won me money in his league.
It's a constant struggle in this household. Every
Yeah.
year it's a promo. It's a wrestling
We have
promo.
to give it out to one game last year. We beat your Eagles. What was the score, Nick?
Oh,
We beat them, huh?
yeah. We beat the
Giants
Eagles,
could
and
even
we
beat
beat
the
her Patriots. More importantly, her
I
Patriots at the
don't-
last game of the season, Bobby. And,
Yeah, right.
and Bill Belichick's last game. So,
Right.
got what
yeah.
you deserve.
Yeah. I agree.
Bobby, I want to hear. I know we spoke earlier. I know you're a big Liv Morgan fan, but what are your thoughts on wrestling? What are you thinking here?
I think Dom is a knucklehead. I think that's the stupidest thing I ever saw of him. He's like, I don't know what she sees in him. He's butt ugly. I think she's going after another guy.
Yeah. So your team. You're kind of with Nikki with Team Balor.
No,
Liv.
not him. He's butt ugly too.
Wow.
I think he's going after what's you call it, Damian Priestley. That's who I think she wants.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest. That's an interesting twist.
Because I want Ben Valor. Oh, look at Ben Valor and look at Dom Mysterio and then look at what's that little Irish man's name? Oh, look at that thing over there. What's his name?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny, Bobby, is they call him an alien, basically.
Yeah, he looks like ugliness. He's short. I think she's after the tall guy. She likes a man like that. I think she's just playing around with little dummy. And I hope mommy kicks Dominic's butt when she gets back.
So are you a Liv Morgan or a Rhea Ripley fan, Bobby?
Oh no, definitely I go with Liv Morgan, definitely. But I want Mama to kick Dominic's butt all over the place. That's what I want.
Well, go ahead. No. Hopefully she's.
I don't like what he does to his father. He knocked him on the ground the other day. was pissed at him. I think he's an idiot. Plus, I miss Sika that said he died.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you a trivia question. Who is Bray Wyatt's father?
Bray Wyatt's father
Yeah.
is IRS.
There you go. I knew you knew that. That was
Come on, Bobby. Let's
Yeah.
get a challenge in here.
I know. Well, I just wanted to throw that out.
Bobby, who's your favorite wrestler? That's a good one.
My favorite wrestler was, I think I want to say, oh, now let's talk to me. That's my cat yelling at me. I want to say Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. All right,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's going to be in New York City in another
Yeah, in August, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. That
They
Fanatic.
do that for the Fanatics.
Yeah, at the Javits Center. It's going to be
For 2 days, right?
exactly.
So let's see who else. I don't like. Finally, he talks, that knucklehead, and what's the bodyguard's name? Who never talked before out of the bloodline.
Oh, Solo.
Yeah, now he opens his big mouth. He talks. He actually talks. I can't believe that. I would like Jimmy Snuka to come back.
Are you not a fan of Solo, Bobby?
No, I don't like him. He's an idiot.
You know, he's the son of Rikishi.
Yeah, I like Rikushi. I didn't like him. And I did. Who's the father? Who's Sika's son?
Roman Reigns.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay, who was the manager of the Wild Samoans?
Oh, no, not
Lou
Fred. Yeah, I was gonna say
Captain
Freddie
Lou.
Black. Captain Lou.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Another. Who did Captain Lou have in WrestleMania? Who did he have a grudge with? What singer?
Oh,
Cyndi
Cyndi
Lauper.
Lauper. Yeah.
There you go. Wow, you guys know your wrestling.
Bobby. That's why we do the show, right? We do
I
it for fun. This-
I know, but I go way back. I told you I'm 55, and you guys are young. You're young.
Bobby knows no limits when you love professional wrestling.
No, I love professional. I don't like boxing. You know, I don't like boxing. So you sure that wasn't who I mentioned in the background? That sounded like
No, that's not Green. And Steven asked who Green Bean was. Green Bean's in the Jet community. He's a podcaster, Steven.
So who's Steve? Doesn't he sound like Green Bean?
A little bit. I could see that.
So who's Stevie? Why doesn't he show his face?
Steve's a regular on this show. He calls in every week.
He never shows his face, though?
No, he does. I think he does sometimes.
Let's see your beautiful face, Steven. We'd like to see people. You know?
Yeah. All right, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Bobby
Yeah.
Midnight has spoken, Steve. Show
So
your face.
you do every Friday night at 6:00?
Yes, sir. And you,
And
sir.
how long does your names? How long does your thing last for?
Usually, whatever. It's happy hour, but we go as long as we do. Yeah.
Oh, I don't drink anymore. I drink my seltzer water. I haven't
Cheers to
drank it almost 18 years now since my daughter.
That's
was
amazing.
born. I have an 18-year-old daughter coming up in July 12th.
Oh, nice.
So, Nikki, if Nick comes on, you're invited to the show too. I met your dog. Your dog is
heard.
beautiful.
I know we're trying not to mention his name right now because he's sleeping on the couch, so we don't want him.
Oh, give me the first letter.
J.
Oh, God. You see, when you get my age, you forget.
Think Sons of Anarchy. We talked about that, I think,
Mhm.
in your show.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know you did.
The main character in Sons of Anarchy.
I never saw that show, so I don't know.
If you watch AEW,
Yeah.
the AEW EVPs, the World Tag Team Champions, their last name,
The Young Bucks.
Matt and Nick.
Oh,
Starts with a J.
I know. I got a
Next
brain
letter
fart.
ACKSON.
Jackson.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Oh, he's a cute dog. What kind of dog is he?
a boxer.
He's a boxer.
Oh yeah, he's adorable. I love that. So Nikki, if you want to join your husband on my show, you may.
Well, thank you.
We like to talk about anything, but I'm telling you one thing that people get rude with women in the chat. You know what I do to them, Nick, right?
Yeah. No cursing when ladies are around. We know we have
Or
to be children.
children.
Yep.
I'm a Sarah. I had in my chat with them.
Exactly.
And that guy's gone anyway. So
Bobby,
no,
you're
I'll be
a
on
man
here.
with principles. That's what you are.
I'm gonna be here every Friday for you guys.
Thanks,
I love
Bobby.
it.
We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Bobby.
And we're gonna try to get you monetized
Oh,
because I got a lot of wrestling people I know that come over to talk to you.
hey, well, I appreciate. Hey, we just want everyone to. But we just want everyone to come hang out on Friday and talk
Yeah,
wrestling.
but
Right?
we're gonna
this
get
is
you
great.
monetized. That's good.
It's great, but you know what? At the end of the day, Bobby, we're all wrestling fans. We just want to talk and talk wrestling. So,
Oh, good. No, I'd rather talk wrestling than boxing. Definitely all the time.
So, well, you don't. Well, you. I can guarantee you one thing: you don't have to worry about boxing being talked about.
Good. I agree with that. So next time, if you want to come on, Nick, invite Nikki, invite your dog. I love dogs. You know me.
We'll
I
take
just
the
like
whole
to type,
family.
Nick. Talk, Nikki. I do not like to type. That's why
Yeah,
it's open to everybody. Well, it's nice to meet you, Nikki. You're a nice lady.
Nice to meet you. I know Nick's told me so much about you. It's so glad to meet you in person.
Legend, the legend, Bobby
personally.
Midnight.
I know. I got that name from Jake. Does she know Jake?
Yeah, she knows who Jake
Oh,
is.
I've heard all about him.
Yeah, he's a great guy, though. You got to go on his show, too. Make his, what do they always call it? The 4% of women?
The minority. I don't know.
Minority, I think it is. So you got to meet the girl from Australia, Sarah. He met Sarah, right, Nick?
Yeah.
She's a nice lady. She got the accent, you know, Australian.
Yeah. No,
So
we're definitely gonna do it, Bobby. But Bobby,
yeah,
before you go, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, no
See you next
problem.
week.
I'll see you next Friday. And then if you want to come to my show.
Yeah, we'll talk, Bobby.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
We're not strangers.
Bye
here.
now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight. You never know who's going to show up in the happy
You
hour.
never know who's going to show up at happy hour. Show up and show out.
Let's get some comments. This is where I know Lisa knew. Lisa knew.
I know. He's
Jackson. We're not mentioning his name. He who shall not be named, so he doesn't wake up.
The basement couch right now. And if you know, he's like, you say his name and he'll appear.
Sorry. Tribal cheeks. That's a good one. Logan chimes in, Balor, JD, Liv versus Rhea, Dom, and Damien. Interesting.
Yeah, I think with that divide, I think Rhea and Damien are, because they're actually Biffles in real life.
Yeah. That wouldn't be like she's gonna return as she's already a face.
But then
I know you get up the face of heel.
Well, you get obsessed with that
because I think it's nice to know who I want to boo and who I should cheer.
Boo and cheer it all.
If you're a bad person, I should boo you. No,
Nope.
No, Lisa.
Nope.
No, we're not saying his
You're
name.
not putting that
nice
in the
try,
please. Thank you.
Thanks, Tazzy.
Thank you,
Everybody,
sir.
check out when we pop off. Tazzy comes on with his live watch party for SmackDown. So that's kind of a little bit part. We do the happy hour. Tazzy keeps the party going.
But don't stop.
I know. It's Friday. You work your ass off all week, and you want to enjoy it. Let's talk wrestling Friday evening. Lead it into SmackDown. To watch some SmackDown and have some fun. Steven's exactly right. Synergy. Globally.
Globally.
I used the Biodome line.
Oh my god, I think I fell in love with you that day.
But yeah.
Even more.
We're getting a bunch of new people chiming in. So, again, make sure you it wakes up Nikki, too.
I'm awake.
So, Logan's coming here. Back when Judgment Day first started, Edge finished actually, thank you for bringing that back up, Logan. I was thinking the same thing. They said they wanted to bring down the Judgment Day, and also, great long-term storytelling. And they also did the Bullet Club, Too Sweet a while back with AJ Styles. So yeah, gonna be interesting, real interesting to see how that all plays out. So, are you ready? Take another.
Yes. Get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Come on.
let's bring him in if he's ready. Calls in every week. Become a staple caller on this show, a regular, as we like to call here. So if you're new, we're here, just to let you all know, we're here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, whatever that correlates to your local time. Talking wrestling every week. WWE, AEW, if you want to talk TNA. We don't watch it as much, but we'll talk it. We're talking anything wrestling. We just had Bobby Midnight on. We were talking about old school wrestling. So that's what it's all about, bringing everyone together here to talk about what your favorite memories are of wrestling, what's going on right now that's exciting in the professional wrestling world. So that's what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in a regular. He only has 2 letters to say name. Ed, welcome in. You got to unmute your mic.
Yeah, don't stop yelling at me. Hold on.
no.
Relax. It's been a long day. Yeah, good. Boo me. Good.
Boo earns.
Boo. They're saying boo earns. No, I gotta say to Nick, what an all-timer line, by the way. You're too pretty to be a Patriots fan. So good. So good.
Yeah. I know how to cut a good promo, man.
Exactly.
Promo.
So good.
Exactly. Hook, line, and sinker.
Right?
Dom, where are you? You need to use some of my lines, Dom.
Now, speaking of Judgment Day, though, it's funny that you brought up the bit with Liv and AJ and Finn all doing the too sweet. I that was one of the first things I was going to bring up. Is that like, is this going to be some long-term storytelling now that like we've seen that a little bit before? Is there going to be like a Judgment Day Civil War? Is that where we're going? Like, I feel like it's kind of retreading a little bit if that's where we're going with the bloodline. But you know what? I'm here for it. I've been saying forever that Finn's a star, and like I don't understand how this guy's not like world champion 17 times yet. But like,
okay,
they're doing something with him.
So I'm going to challenge on that. Why can't there be 2 civil wars? Because when you think about it, like you can have 2 teams. Like I remember, like I know they didn't go through with this, but like the Justice League stuff, like they were building.
Oh, don't even get me started with the Snyder
What's
stuff.
his name? Facebook, dude.
Second, sorry, I was cutting you off.
Who started Facebook?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I think his name. But
He was supposed to be
he's
like
like
Luthor.
Yeah, and he's like building our own team. Like, why can't you have these like all these integrations of these storylines on both different brands, and then like later down the line, you have all these integrations of the not like a lot of like 2 different integrations of the Judgment Day, 2 different integrations of the bloodline that can cross and feud with each other, you know?
So I like the idea, and I like the idea of like, you know, let's splinter a bunch of things. You know, let's divide Raw and SmackDown, and then divide all the factions, have everybody feuding. There's chaos, and then the Wyatt Six attacks the entire company. I'm here for it.
Agreed.
Also, you know, I guess we shouldn't be talking about that. You know, the Wyatt Six being a cash grab. It's terrible. We all hate it. By the way, you guys should buy your Brody Lee limited edition Reeboks. Go check out the Owen.
I saw those.
Yeah.
Where's it? Because I know when he first passed, they said like the money's going to the family.
Yeah, no, and that's great. I mean, I'm just saying that there's been discourse.
I don't know where the Reeboks are going, to be honest, because I have 2 Brody Lee shirts, and they said all proceeds go to Amanda.
Everything should, honestly.
I don't know what they said about the Reebok. I just saw the pictures of them, and I was like,
right. Yeah, I rolled my eyes too, because especially with like the discourse online of like, you know, you're exploiting Bray's legacy and it's terrible and fed bad and like get over it. It would be a problem if it wasn't Bo, right?
Yes.
It would be a huge problem if it wasn't Bo, but it's him. And look at this. This is awesome. Like, this is like the only thing I really want to talk about. That like I was so worried about Taylor being able to deliver, and I forgot. Like, you ever forget? Happened to me. Absolutely.
Yes, he used my line. That's actually, Ed, you know what?
Nick says that to me on the daily.
That's like a I forget what stand-up comedian that is. Somebody uses that.
No, it's oh my god, Larry. No, not Larry the Cable Guy, the other guy. Ron White.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Who's saying?
Yeah.
But God damn it. No. So it's one of those, like I said, I was so worried about him being able to deliver. I completely forgot about his black and gold run.
Yeah.
Like completely forgot about it. Had only remembered like a little bit of the Social Outcasts and like a little bit before it and like the B Leader of Worlds, and like he was a good comedy character. But I forgot that he started as like more or less a white meat babyface, and then when the NXT crowd turned on him immediately, he leaned into it. That Believe character, I believe, was all him.
You believe it was all him?
I believe it was all him.
No, that character, that Believe character, I loved. I loved everything about it. And you know what it reminded me of? I don't know if anyone else thought this too. Kurt Angle.
I was just going to say, I hope you were going to say Kurt Angle. Wait.
It was the same thing where he was like, I'm the greatest. And every win was like him marching around the ring. And it was so brilliant. And I love that. And I don't know what happened with that. Like, they just never did anything. I'm like, you made this character so hateable. Like, he's such an arrogant jerk.
So good. They brought it on Maine and it died. Yeah,
well, that's because the people that were running creative in Maine didn't know what to do with anything they were handed. If they weren't the ones that created it, they didn't know what to do.
Right.
We're in a completely new era. I mean, look at this still. Look at this still image. It's so good. Straight out of a horror movie.
It's so creepy, so good. Like,
everything about this, just the mannerisms, the way he was speaking, just like even you can hear his like just the regular like Bo Dallas voice layered in with the other like the other effects. It's so creepy.
He looked and sounded so much like Bray. Like if you told me that like the gimmick of this was him getting possessed by his brother's spirit,
yeah, okay,
I would have believed it.
I mean, even the way that he's like, even the jacket, because the jacket looks like it's like padded, so he looks a little bigger when he's walking around. When there's when he's just like a silhouette, when he was in shadow, like the first reveal of him, like you watch him walk and he does like the little hand thing. I was like, is that, oh wow, like they're really leaning into this. Like he looks like Bray.
Yeah, like the hat, the dreadlocks, like
it's so good.
I'm so here for it. I so want this to be good.
And listen, we've had 2 segments, and I feel like they're all timer. Like I feel like these are now like all timer iconic segments. Like I've shown people these last 2, like the debut and this, that have like only really been casually watching. Like I have a coworker who's a big like old ECW head, and can like he'll tune in like once in a while. He'll watch for 15 minutes and be like, "This is garbage. Get this out of here." Like Roman sucks. The only thing I care about with the bloodline is Heyman, because again, ECW.
Which but also, not to, I know that this is your points about Bray Wyatt, so, but like the Heyman stuff, I just want to get this, like,
it's incredible.
It'd be kind of cool if like, and some of them are probably just too old and decrepit now to do it. But like, if he's, he's held hostage, he's hashtag hostage. Oh, I can't say it now. Hostage Heyman.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm gonna get that over too. Like 1990s Kevin Nash. That's what I'm saying. That's the new line. No matter what it takes. But like, wouldn't it be cool if like they brought back a bunch of just like ECW originals and like
to try to save Heyman?
Yeah, and like they just got demolished.
I mean, yeah, I mean, only if you're gonna have like Jacob Fatu just like run through all of them, like.
Oh yeah, like let Sabu come back and like try and
die.
I don't want to see Sabu or Sandman or
no. Yo, Sandman. Like, no, get out of here.
No one wants to see any of that.
Oh, I honestly though, I would want to see Just Incredible get murdered by the Bloodline on SmackDown. Not for nothing.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, Justin, not credible.
No, but that actually does lead me to my next point. For as great as the all the Wyatt stuff is, like, and I do agree with that. I think Logan had said it in the chat earlier. I would absolutely love if we've got these like one-on-ones with each member, and then like the last one is the reveal of who the 6th person is. So good.
That's, as they say, is that meme from the Mario Brothers. Like, that's cinema.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I hope they do that. I really hope the 6th person will eventually be Alexa.
I mean, that makes the most sense. I don't know who else. I don't know who else you would use. I don't know where it would go if you don't use her.
Right, and I think if you play it, you can. I think there's enough time you can play it out. Because apparently they wanted her back, but she's not ready. Again, she just had a baby in November. So I think if you can. Yeah. Again, the whole higher power thing. Like, I feel like you can stretch it out enough for when she's ready and comfortable to come back. Even maybe if she's not necessarily ring ready, she can still Cut a promo.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what if she's the leader, like the Lilith character, because of the proximity to Bray Wyatt is actually the person that she's like if maybe like it would be an actually pretty neat like correlation, because Nikki Cross was always chasing around Alexa, or like was like lost after Alexa left. So the idea that like that the bride that we saw throughout the whole thing actually isn't Nikki, and she's the red herring, so to speak, even though she's in the group, the red herring of actually Alexa, who's kind of pulling the strings behind, or Alexa's the queen to Bo, or whatever he's called.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% here for it.
Yeah. Again, there's always a higher power, an exalted one.
Listen, I'm just hoping it's not who the last higher power was. Although not for nothing, it would be hilarious. I don't want that guy on TV ever again.
I don't think he's gonna be.
No,
he might not. The way it's going, that guy might not be even amongst, all of us normal folks.
Hello, federal investigation.
Hello, hi.
Oh,
Shout out to the
no
FBI.
problem. It's me.
It be.
Yeah.
No. But so speaking of the bloodline, though, my boy showed up on SmackDown. That's
You
exciting.
were waiting for him.
Yeah,
and you've been mentioning his name. Say his name.
And he appears.
Hold on.
I believe in this Samoan werewolf.
It's so low, baby.
I know it's so low. You know,
That's
but
fantastic.
yes, we've been waiting.
Yeah, former MLW champion, former crown jewel of Contra. Not for nothing. If you guys haven't watched like that run of MLW, very interesting. So Court Bauer, the guy that runs MLW, was a huge creative force on Lucha Underground. Which Lucha Underground is great. If you guys haven't watched it, please do yourself a favor. It's fantastic. It's a it's a TV show. It's shot cinematically that happens to be about wrestling. It's everything like WWE is trying to show, but like it really is shot like a TV show. All the wrestlers have superpowers.
I'm gonna start saying, because you always promote all the good wrestling. You have to say, "I'm done shilling."
I've never done shilling. Are you kidding me?
I know that's
a monster over here. No shame. Let's go. But yeah, like it was very interesting because like I'm also a sucker for like there's an invading force in the company and like what are we gonna do? Because of the pandemic, they were able to run Contra like it was a like some invading like evil force. They had their own like they had like their own jobber squad. Like they had something like akin to the putties from like Power Rangers. They had the Sentai Death Squad. They're dudes in masks that just showed up. So like the MLW roster, could come together and they had somebody to beat up, and then Jacob Fatu would show up and just like lawn dart some dude into a trailer or something. It was great. It's a good time. But yeah, this guy's fantastic. And I know Nick, you were saying earlier that like you're used to him being a little bit thicker, and like so am I. I'm used to him being like Diet Rikishi, and the fact that he's
also like not to like sexual, but like he had like a fat ass. Like he had a big ass. Like he had a Rikishi ass. Like, like I don't know how you lose that kind of ass weight, because I don't know, but like
you stop drinking and you start eating right.
Yes, so yeah.
Like they would run like so once like Contra dissolved and all that jazz, that they ran a bunch of like he turned babyface and all that jazz, so they were trying to like just show you the real Jacob Fatu is he was a guy just like down on his luck and trying to turn his life around because he'd been in prison and all that jazz and was fighting for his family, but like he always had like a pack of cigarettes, like a bottle of Henny next to him, like
classy as fuck.
And he cuts great promos too.
Oh yeah, the guy's fantastic.
He cuts phenomenal promos.
But I feel like every new person that they've and I say new person, but like if you're watching New Japan or if you've watched the Indies, you've seen these guys before, right? Like we're all familiar. Like the three of us are familiar with God. We're familiar with Jacob Fatu from not in WWE, but they come in here and bam, they're making an impact, and everybody has shown up looking like a friggin' killer. And I'm trying to watch my language.
Good job.
Too many drinks in to care.
Listen, I'm getting there.
You didn't tell us what you were drinking.
Nick didn't ask.
Yeah, what are you drinking?
Oh, you said.
Yeah, Jersey Berry wine. It's a 70% Chardonnay and a 30% cranberry wine.
I love you're so classy.
I know. Look at you.
Cheers.
It's good.
With a very classy take, and he's doing it in a wine glass. I'm doing it in a solo cup like a true degenerate.
Listen, if I had solo cups, I've been using it. It's easier to clean. I don't. I chuck them.
Fair point. So Ed, what else?
What else do I got? You were gonna. I mean, I was gonna bring it up, but I don't know what you were going to say. I apologize. Forbidden Door, do we care?
So I'm torn.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
all out
torn
of faith? Is this how you feel?
This is exactly how I feel. How did I feel when Forbidden Door was booked? Uncle Howdy asked me. Hold on. If I do this right.
Oh Lord.
How did you feel when Forbidden Door was booked?
Seriously, if I do this right, I can make this look really fun.
I would rather watch Bo Dallas dressed in a creepy Halloween costume interview himself for 5 hours than watch Forbidden Door. I couldn't care less. Like none of it. Like we had said before, all the matches are going to be great, but they don't matter.
Yeah.
Like I love Bryan Danielson, and like this goes back to me watching him in like the Edison Rec Center in like 2008, teaming with like Chris Hero against two people I don't remember. Like that ROH show was headlined by Jay Briscoe and Jerry Lynn for the ROH title. But like, what are the selling points? Is that Bryan Danielson's mad now that like,
yeah,
oh, my year hasn't been good, and now I'm gonna go beat him up. It's like. The guy's gotten so many concussions like this year. Like I'm pretty sure like with the last one that he just came back from, they gave him a free bubble tea because he punched his card enough. You know what I mean? Like
I love Brian.
Yeah.
I just want him off my screen.
Yes.
Go home to Brie.
Yes.
Oh my God, that line from
Yes. Go home.
Oh my God, the line.
Or just go back to one more run in WWE. Come on.
Oh, and Planetary Collision, Nigel McGuinness, he's like, he used to be a vegan, but he eats too much brie. And I was like,
let's go. What a guy.
No, he needs to go home to Brie and raise the children and like stop himself. Like, I don't want to see him do this anymore. And
I don't want to see him do it anymore. I hate that they play it up. Like, I'm getting like late stage Undertaker vibes where I'm more worried about Bryan Danielson, the person, than I am his character. Like every time the Undertaker has showed up for the past couple of years, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I love the Undertaker as a character, but I'm like, Mark Calloway can barely walk. Let this man go home.
Yeah. And him and their daughter is super young.
Yeah.
I guess maybe she's probably like 12 at this point, but still like,
yeah.
Just go home to your babies. Like stop the madness.
I'm looking at the card just like, other than the Swerve Ospreay match, which could be
the build sucks. The build's terrible.
Like actually, the build is more between Ospreay and MJF. That's why I think that Ospreay's probably losing. So what do you do? So you have what? So you have Ospreay win this. Now he's a double champ. So he's got the world title that sort of means something, and whatever the other belt is, which I don't even remember what other belt he's got. I just remember that segment from the other night where like Swerve's like, "Can you handle both worlds?" And I'm like, I'm sure he can because the one he's got is just a prop. The which one? I'm sorry.
The international one. Your international contract. I think the only match that has any story is because fucking Toni Storm's love her. That's the only one that has story. Is like her and what's her face are fighting over Mariah May.
Yeah, that's the one we were thinking about talking about.
The only one that has story.
Yeah, and they like
Mariah May
Mariah May. I hope they have.
Again, like everyone, she had a nip slip on Wednesday, guys. Go back and watch.
They should do a double. Here's what we're gonna do: a Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and we're gonna put both in a cage, Mariah May and Dominic Mysterio, and do like some sort of intergender match.
Yeah, is this some kind of custody of Dom and Mariah May match?
And what's gonna end up happening is gonna be just like WrestleMania was this year, a swap. And Dominic's going to end up going to AEW. And then
if Dom Mysterio goes to AEW, he's immediately the most over guy on the roster. Like, he's the only guy that gets a real reaction. You kidding me?
Yeah, very true.
He's going to feud with Ospreay for the world title.
I think that women's match is the only one that really has a story. Like, Mercedes, like, I could not give a flip about her in AEW, to be honest.
I forgot she was there. I forgot the TNA. I was going to say the TNA title. I forgot the TBS title existed. Like, none of it mattered.
No.
Nobody on that show was a belt, and they're thinking about doing like a women's tag title too. Like,
yeah, and then the intergender one.
Wait. Part of me feels like that they have two belts just to remind everyone that Turner has two networks.
Stop.
Honestly, and then they might as well just give Toni Storm the Turner Classic Movies belt too. Like, just start cranking it out. they'll get they'll eventually get that Max streaming deal, and they'll be like an HBO Max title. That'll be exciting.
Oh yeah, the Max Championship, maximum effort.
Male models.
Maximum.
Honestly, not for nothing. AEW
Oh, you did it.
MXM.
You did it. You set him off. Don't.
You set me off. MXM are incredible.
I know. I know you love them.
I want them. Apparently, there's rumors they've been around AEW and Ring of Honor. I think they'd be perfect in TNA. They said TNA is their spiritual home.
Oh, I would love that, honestly. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched any of their indie stuff since they've been
a couple.
They've been gone.
There,
yeah.
I can't talk about their match with the name of the tag team is Bussy. It's Effie and Alley Catch.
Yep.
So good. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I love Effie and Alley Cat.
Oh, Effie, they're both fantastic, honestly. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
Effie need in the world, to be honest. If you don't know Effie, EFFY, watch him.
Yeah, just go check out wrestlingisgay, and it's that's really all you need to know.
Well,
Look on Nick's face.
another shill from Ed. Ed,
Me?
last shot before they go.
Oh, you already know. Darby Allin sucks.
Oh, here we go. Ed, you sir, cut off.
I was gonna say, tell me to love her, but you kind of.
Well, I'm gonna have to do a drop for Ed now with Darby Allin. Ed hates Darby Allin like you hate Nia Jax. I know. I know it's different.
Braggy levels. Any Hoosers. Kids, we got 14 minutes before SmackDown. Get your snacks. Take yourself out. Take your fur babies out. I'm excited. Let's see what rest in peace, Sika. Fallout from last week. What the Samoan werewolf.
Let's get the last couple comments in. Lisa, spoken like a true heel, Ed.
I don't know. That's a
I don't remember which.
Was that the Patriot comment?
No, Ed didn't talk about it.
I don't know what it said.
Not sure.
Eddie Dirty Heel. Oh, I missed that tag team.
Dirty.
The Dirty Heels were Bobby Roode.
Pivotal portal equals Forbidden. Yes. According to.
Yes, because
oh my God, Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace called it prohibited portal. Again, alliteration. But I guess I'll see. I nearly do. Thank you. I love. I have my Dirty Heel shirt upstairs. I first moved into Philly and being very alone and got really into TNA, and that's when they were the Dirty Heels, and I could not be more in love with Austin Aries, and then find out he was really also a piece of poop. But Bobby Roode's great. He is now a backstage person on Raw, SmackDown, Raw. I think he's on Raw. He's been shadowing.
But he didn't get hit by the smoke. Good for you, Bobby Roode. You didn't get the smoke. The smoke didn't get you.
Yes.
Just like Chad Gable cannot be killed.
Oh my God! They killed.
Chad Gable cannot be killed. That being said, we're 12 minutes out of SmackDown on Friday night, June 28th, 2024. Just to kind of stamp it here. So we're going to re-release the show. You'll probably see the recording of the show. If you're watching it live, you can watch it live again. But you can watch it again tomorrow. It will be re-released probably around like 9 a.m. Eastern time, something like that. So tell your friends if you're new here. Hit the old like and subscribe. We don't say that enough. I need to say that. We need to say that more. But it goes a long way. We want to hear from all you, what you're thinking about professional wrestling, what you're drinking, all that fun stuff. But that being said, this has been a fun one, as always. Ooh, Jinx, you owe me something.
Lord have Mary.
A request to be named later. I have to drop it. I can't find it. But that being said, you don't have to go home.
But you can stay here. Bye.